Felix, I've already gone over the rules with you. Let me remind you, obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, and refrain from fouling. Shake hands now. Come out fighting at the bell. Good luck to both of you.
Jim, this is the biggest welterweight championship fight since Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns 12 years ago. If it's half as good as that one, we've got something to look forward to.
Back up, Pete. Back up.
Boy, you don't want to be a referee at all in a fight like this, and one that's been out for so long.
Larry Hazard has taken on quite an assignment tonight, hasn't he, George?
I may be a little too much.
You're suggesting that it may not have been a wise choice.
Doesn't look like it.
Remains to be seen whether the referee will become a factor. Certainly the left hook for Buddy McGirt will be a factor. We'll be tracking them throughout the fight to see if he throws them with the frequency that he's thrown them in his past fights. And we are told that Buddy McGirt, in his dressing room before the fight, was throwing left hooks to hand pads. McGirt is known as a slow starter. Whitaker, statistically, by far the busier fighter in his previous fights. And many suggest that Pernell will want to jump on top of McGirt early and try to disrupt his rhythm with a lot of punches. So far, Sweet Pea hasn't done that.
Sweet Pea has already started to hit on the left arm of McGirt.
Well, we suspect George Benton will have told Whitaker to try to go ahead and hit McGirt's left shoulder. See if the arm falls off.
It's not the hitting of the shoulder that really hurts. It's the throwing those punches without any balance.
Hold on. Don't punch on the break.
And Hazard's first significant move is to warn Whitaker about punching on the break.
All right, let go, Pete. Let him go, Pete.
One thing Hazard brings to the job is a booming voice.
That's right, and he has some demand.
Already the showboating from Whitaker, who threw a punch behind his back.
It reminds you of one of those little guys who walks into a bar and say, hey, I'll fight any big guy in here. Just a mean little guy.
Yeah, he has that kind of consciousness for sure. Claims that when he was a kid, before his amateur stardom days, he used to spar with heavyweights in the gyms in Norfolk, Virginia. This is the 6th time in Buddy McGirt's career that he has been in the ring with a southpaw. Actually, the 7th time. He's fought 6 previous southpaws and has knocked out 5 of them. Whitaker trying to go to the body with the left. Pernell, in recent years, has become an accomplished body puncher.
The thing about Buddy McGirt, he's knocked down true welterweights who've melted down from middleweight.
Magoo off balance. McGirt, I should say, his nickname in the eyes of many is Magoo. Off balance into the ropes. It's been a cautious and tactical first round, but Pernell Whitaker, true to form, has been the busier of the two fighters.
Don't give no rounds. Don't give no rounds. All right? I want you on your toes, you understand? Don't be waiting so long. When he punches, you got to punch twice. Okay? Like that jab. Try to get that hook to the body. Under his jab, all right? Okay. He's all yours. Just nice and easy, okay? You know what you're doing. All right, buddy? Here you see Whitaker, who was a avid basketball player and fan, throwing a behind-the-back pass.
It's a mean thing to do.
Pernell shot free throws at a halftime of a Knicks game 2 nights ago to help promote this bout. And true to form, was bragging outrageously about his free throw shooting skill the day after. Punch stat clockers. Logan Hobson and Bob Canobio tell us that Buddy McGirt has not yet thrown a left hook. But he landed the right hand over the top and now tries to follow up. And Pernell Whitaker ties him up inside. Pernell knows a lot of tricks in there, George.
And he's going to need a lot of tricks with such a strong opponent of that nature. And the first trick he shouldn't be pulling is trying to be such an aggressor so early.
Body shot by McGirt. And now a right hand over the top. Buddy McGirt, much more aggressive in the first minute of round 2. There's a solid left hand by Pernell Whitaker. And that stops McGirt in his tracks for the moment. Right hand by McGirt landed. If they trade power shots, that will operate to McGirt's advantage.
The bad thing about McGirt's right hands he's landed, he's not having to search for them. Pernell Whitaker's bringing it right to him. It's like, hit me again.
Again, the left hand lands for Whitaker.
All right, push your way out. Push your way out. Pull it on out. Pull it out. Let's go, Pete. Keep up in there.
Another right hand over the top by McGirt. 2 in a row. And you're right, George. Whitaker seems to be an easier target for McGirt than he has been for most of his previous opponents.
When you're fighting a bigger man, he's supposed to search for you. You're not supposed to go searching for him.
Body shot by Whitaker. Drives McGirt back into the ropes. Buddy trying to go over and under with the right hand. Still no left hooks from Buddy McGirt. He loves to finish his combinations with them. He does not yet seem confident about throwing one.
And as I said earlier, hey, you're a boxer. Right hands are just as effective as left hooks. Why worry about a left hook?
Trading shots inside again. And for now, it appears that Pernell Whitaker is going to get hit in this fight more than perhaps in any previous bout. Pernell starting to unleash the jab. McGirt trying to come back with a jab of his own. Not as crisp, it seems, early as he was with the jab in his brilliant performance against Simon Brown, November of 1991. Crowd chanting, Buddy, Buddy, Buddy. Whitaker steps up the aggression in reserve.
McGirt throws his left jabs and then holds his balance, which is important.
Your jab will stop the right hand from stop it from firing. You understand? You can't get the right hand to go as long as you're jabbing at it. Of course, your jab is in his way, right? Now listen, when you throw your left cross, lean out, okay, so you don't run into his right hand. You got me? Because he's fighting with every damn thing on it. Now you're looking real good. You keep that jab going. Look, now when you got close here, you
Fight punches. Finish off with the jab. Swallow the water. Close up those legs a little bit. Get on your toes. All right? And don't forget the feint. Slide. Come on.
As you heard,
don't let him take any place.
George Benton was a little concerned about the right hands that Pernell Whitaker is catching, which is certainly uncharacteristic for him. But at the same time, Pernell Whitaker probably won those first 2 rounds. So we're going to have to find out if McGirt is going to be more aggressive.
Now McGirt is doing something wise. He's landed a few heavy right hands. Now he's moving around, making the guy come to him. When you're fighting a Whitaker, you try to win the fight on points. Forget about knocking him out.
These are 2 of the best slip and counter punchers in the game today. If both are aggressive, both ought to be able to score with counter punching. There's the left hand for Whitaker. Leaping in behind the left.
And McGirt is fighting the kind of fight that Pernell Whitaker should be fighting.
Okay, that's right. Step clean. Don't push.
Every time McGirt got in trouble in the very troublesome Gennaro Leone fight on January 12th, Hurtado asked him to bounce and move. Bounce and move. Left hook over the top by Whitaker. McGirt lands a right hand in return. George, I still haven't seen Buddy McGirt throw a left hook.
And I don't really really think he should at this point. I think it's something he should save, put in reserve until you know you're going to hit this guy. Because he can only miss so many times with an off hurting left hook or some damage into it. Don't waste it.
McGirt coming over the top with the right. Pernell begins to slug away and trade shots with him inside. Body punches and shots to the chin. Both men seemingly becoming more accurate here in round number 3. Buddy up and under with the right uppercut. And 2 right hands over the top. Crowd warming to its support of Buddy McGirt.
Whitaker reminds me of a guy who does not take instructions way often.
Solid left hand by Whitaker. McGirt came back with the right. It is almost impossible for most experts to imagine Pernell Whitaker knocking Buddy McGirt out. So you suspect that if they continue to trade power shots, George, it's going to redound to McGirt's advantage.
And every time Whitaker throws a power shot, he falls forward, so he's not able to land 2 or 3 of them. So it's not doing him any good. He should hit this guy 5 times and make McGirt follow him.
He is not following Benton's instructions to use the jab and try to slow down McGirt's right hand. He's leaning in there and taking right hands.
Boy, this is world-class stuff, guys. You just don't see much of this feinting, jabbing, hooking. It's just wonderful stuff. It's better than you could have imagined. If this is chess, boy, it is violent chess.
2 brilliant boxers showing you how it is supposed to be done.
And McGirt did exactly what he had to do in that round. He got more aggressive.
Okay. Now, listen. Now, that's it. Keep your head right close to him when you're on the inside, right? And get them hands off, right? That's the way to it. Short punches around here. Now, look, keep your jab going. Now, look, keep your jab going. The jab is working good. Now, look, don't
Back up so much. You understand? Don't back up so much.
Here you're watching the almost lost art of in-your-face, close-quarter boxing. McGirt looking to throw the right hand, has not yet thrown that left hook with any bad intentions on it.
Seconds out. Seconds out. Stay there, baby. Stay there.
Round 4 begins in Madison Square Garden. Buddy McGirt, the Blue Trunks, defending his WBC World Welterweight Championship against IBF Junior Welterweight Champion Pernell Whitaker.
Harold Letterman, how do you have the fight scored 2-3 rounds?
Larry, 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Pernell beat Whitaker. I think Whitaker's winning the fight on a clean punching. In the 3rd round, Buddy McGirt came back and outpunched him with right hand, so I gave the 3rd round to Buddy McGirt, but I thought Whitaker certainly landed the cleanest shots in the first 2.
And after having been told by his trainer George Benton to jab more, Pernell Whitaker threw only 22 jabs out of 80 total punches in round number 3. Now in round 4, they are once again body to body, slipping and countering each other in a brilliant display of boxing. McGirt quicker with the left jab there. Pernell throwing more of them. Solid right hand by McGirt inside. And a left hand by Whitaker.
Whitaker's doing everything in retaliation. He's not doing anything on his own. When McGirt hits him, he try and hit him back. You can't go into a guy's hometown and start trying to be a counterpuncher. You got to get him.
And Pernell had claimed coming into the fight that his aggression would be the difference. He kept saying, I'm going to go out and put my hands on him.
Whitaker, you're not seeing much upper body movement at all. Standing with his head straight up, hoping he slips a punch.
Rare for him because in the past he has been brilliant at standing in front of his opponent and slipping away. But give credit to Buddy McGirt for accurate punching. He is landing that right hand with continuous precision.
Believe me, welterweights can hit probably harder than any other class because of the power in their legs. You just can't go round for round getting hit with right hands by a welterweight champion.
Closing stages of round number 4. Another tactical masterpiece. Buddy McGirt seemingly beginning to assume control of the battle here. Right hand by McGirt. One of the better punches in the fight so far. And another. A big round for Buddy McGirt.
Boy, you called it.
Look to TVKO next Saturday night for a special evening of boxing featuring World Light Flyweight Championship between title holders Michael Carbajal and Humberto Gonzalez, both of them champions. And the undercard is highlighted by 1992 Olympic gold medalist Oscar de la Hoya of East Los Angeles. Contact your local cable operator for details.
He's trying to rough you up on the inside. He's got nothing else to offer. You understand? Stop loading up. Just do what you do best, you understand? Get your punches off, paint them into position. You feint, throw the jab. You feint with a jab, throw a right hand. Okay?
Keep moving that in. Keep moving that in. Right? And don't punch from too far away, right? Be close when you punch. You understand? Okay, over the top. Over the top. Over the top. Over the top.
Round 5 begins. The pattern in the last 2 rounds has been that Whitaker begins with the jab early in the round and then tends to go away from it as McGirt lures him into a battle of power punches inside. So far, most of the heavy shots in the fight have been Buddy McGirt right hands, and they might pile up round by round, George Foreman.
Whitaker's making a tragic mistake. He's trying to land a lot of body shots, and this guy's got a good body. He's got a good body. You're not going to take his power away and knock him out later. And his corner is telling him to get closer. And every time he gets closer, he gets hit with a jab. At some point, somebody's going to have to tell him something different.
Well, since Pernell's first-round knockout of Juan Nazario in a lightweight championship fight in August of 1990 at 140 and 147 pounds, every single one of his championship fights has gone the distance. So Pernell can't expect to come in looking for the knockout against anybody, and now they bump heads, and Larry Hazard talks to both fighters.
Okay, let's go.
Heads went bumping tonight, but no blood.
It seems that all of the Duval camp fighters, they look to the referee for help. The referee can't help you. He can only step in, keep the fight clean.
McGirt landing a solid shot as Whitaker again steps inside. Pernell still looking for a way to neutralize McGirt's right hand. Good combination by McGirt. He has been allowed to get into his rhythm here. And Pernell Whitaker begins to chase Buddy McGirt around the ring, much as Simon Brown did in November of 1991. You can't chase McGirt. He's too good a counterpuncher. You've got to cut the ring off against him.
Especially if you're the lighter guy by nature. Whitaker's fighting like a big heavyweight, looking for one knockout shot. Lunges in, and he can't get 3 punches together. McGirt lands his 2 or 3 punches and back away.
Right hand by Whitaker, and then a left. One of the better combinations in recent rounds for Pernell. Fast hands by Buddy McGirt. McGirt throwing a fair number of left jabs, so the left shoulder certainly hasn't impeded him in that way. Doesn't seem to be throwing any left hooks, maybe just because of an absence of confidence in the punch. Maybe not because of pain.
McGirt is determined every time Whitaker misses him, throw a shot anyway, which is a good tactic.
Good
and
body
he backs away.
Good body shots by McGirt, followed by a right hand. Pernell tries to do the same and takes another right hand for his trouble.
Well, I said earlier, Jim, that it took the spirit of charity offered for me to give Pernell Whitaker's opponents a round. I'm not having any such trouble tonight.
Keep stabbing him with that left cross in the belly. You got to make up. Now, hey, listen, every chance you get, I want you to stab him in the belly with that left cross. Because he's getting tired as hell. Can't you feel it? All right, now listen, do not get careless. I want you to continue jabbing, everything off the jab, right? Don't punch him too far away. Let that jab be your guidance stick. Let the jab be your ruler, you know.
Every time we see you go to the body, we can see on the outside, he's starting to double up. Understand? You got to go to that body on the inside. But jab your way in. When you get close,
All right, let's take a look at a statistical comparison of the number of times, according to our punched-out numbers, that Buddy McGirt has thrown the left tonight as opposed to in previous fights. And there you see it. 112 left hands so far through 5 rounds here, 164 against Ponce, and only 116 against Brown. So he's not that far off of his previous statistical profile. Most of them are jabs, but they certainly haven't been ineffective.
Whitaker's corner has told him to keep landing body punches. The guy's getting tired. Well, after 12 rounds, you got to land some points. You just can't go for the weakening of the body.
And there's Whitaker scoring inside. Accurate uppercuts, and the jab, and the left hand. And suddenly Pernell Whitaker seizes command in round number 6. Driving McGirt into the ropes. Maybe those body punches will do him some good, George.
No, at this point, he's trying to cruise and take him a little rest. But at the same time, Whitaker is a hard puncher. You just can't do it without being alert. Every fighter rests in the middle round.
In recent years, almost all of Buddy McGirt's route-going performances have been marked by a flat stretch, maybe a tired period in the 6th, 7th, and 8th rounds. That must be what Benton was thinking about when he urged Whitaker to believe that McGirt was getting tired.
And fighters got too much experience to truly get tired. You can plug him, but you're not going to make him tired.
Work your way out.
But he likes to save his energy for the 9th through 12th rounds, the championship rounds. And it's not a bad strategy if you're as good as Buddy McGirt.
Don't hold it. Don't hold it.
Solid right hands by McGirt, 2 of them in a row. The round that seemed to belong to Whitaker early now moves back into a more neutral mode.
Whitaker's landing some good body punching, but the judges, they're looking at those head shots that McGirt is throwing. I mean, they're watching that. They're not too sophisticated tonight.
Pull it out, buddy. Pull it out.
All 3 judges from the state of Nevada. Well, 2 from Nevada and 1 from California, but they are West Coast judges in effect. So we're not looking at New York scoring per se. Good flurry by Whitaker as McGirt throws against the ropes. If he's going to go to the ropes, George, he better keep moving.
The average fighter is hardly ever told to just stay alert. You got a half hour, 40 minutes out there. Stay alert.
Good body shot by Whitaker. And that time he blocked the right hand with his left hand.
All right, what's on out there? What's on out?
A little bit of a mini comeback in round number 6 for Pernell Whitaker, who seemed to have been losing his grip in the 3 previous rounds.
That's the boxing, baby. That's the boxing.
Now listen, you're handling him like a chair. When you get close, keep your hands free and go to work. Dead weight. Dead weight. You understand? Because this guy's tired as hell now, see what I mean? But you got to keep hustling. But throw dead weight. So that holds your gas.
Harold Letterman, give us your score.
Well, Larry, the New York scoring has got it 3 rounds each, 57 to 57. I got it dead even. In rounds 3, 4, and 5, I thought that Pernell Whitaker would move inside. You know, we score on effective aggressiveness. He would move inside, but he wouldn't let the shot go. And McGirt was killing him with right hands. But in round 6, Whitaker moved inside and started a punch, and I thought he outpunched Buddy McGirt in the 6th round to even it up. So I got a dead even 57 to 57.
Second zone.
Harold, one of the rare times I agree with you completely. This is an even fight. 6 rounds to go.
A landmark evening. Merchant and Letterman in total agreement after 6. But the championship round still to come. This is the area of the fight in which McGirt traditionally runs into his little Sargasso Sea. And let's see if Whitaker will try to step up the business in rounds 7 and 8 to take advantage of that trend. There's a left hand over the top that landed solidly. Maybe the best weapon of the night for Whitaker has been left hand leads over the top, George.
And for the first time, McGirt is trying to retaliate by coming forward to pay Whitaker back, which is what should have been happening from the beginning.
For Pernell.
Now, hit him 2 or 3 times and step back. Make him come to you.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Pernell Whitaker tapping the left side of his head to show Larry Hazard where he thinks Buddy McGirt is butting him. Hazard, incidentally, hasn't been a factor so far, and that's what a good referee should be. Virtually unidentifiable in there.
Boy, that good referee is sweating tonight.
He's working, isn't he?
Too many days being a commissioner.
Whitaker landing the jab. McGirt comes back with a straight right hand. Pernell firing and ducking. Buddy McGirt starts going to the body. Pernell comes over the top with the left hand. McGirt hasn't gone to the body all that much, but he may seek to do so if Pernell Whitaker keeps firing over the top. Just missing with the left hook there. Pernell becoming increasingly accurate with the jab, George.
And he's starting to take control of the fight by making McGirt come to him.
So you think both fighters are better when they're backing up?
That's right. And in the earlier rounds, as you said, McGirt was in control. Now Whitaker has taken control by making the guy come.
That was Buddy McGirt's best left hook that just landed.
You're right. He threw the left hook with abandon there. Let's see if he keeps doing it. Whitaker again over the top with the straight left hand. McGirt jabbing. Pernell looking to counter.
Without that left hook working all the time for him, McGirt is like a cowboy with a 3-shooter.
But his manager, Arturo, was quoted as saying, a one-handed Buddy McGirt can beat a 3-handed Pernell Whitaker. Which may not be all that surprising. I'm not sure what Pernell would do with the third hand.
You got to stop, stand your ground, and use the jab when he fires, make it miss, then fight. You know what I mean? Open up, because he's carrying you a little too fast now. And he'll start hitting you, because you're moving too much. Stand your ground. Because see, this guy, he's bully whooping you now. He don't want to fight inside so much. You know, so when he walks in,
There you see Whitaker on the attack early in the round. Later in the round, it was McGirt on the attack and Whitaker countering straight over the top. Classic textbook stuff.
George Foreman, I saw you shaking your head as George Benton told Whitaker to stand his ground.
Not at all. He's been most effective by backing up, counterpunching.
So why on earth would Benton be telling him to stand his ground?
Evidently, he thinks he can get a knockout, but it's not going to happen in that fashion.
Doesn't seem likely. We'll see if Pernell listens to him or chooses to do something else. For the moment, he's not backing up.
Let go that head. Leave the head alone.
George Benton believes that you can't let McGirt set his own tempo. So he wants him more active than McGirt wants. That's his theory going into it, whether it works or not.
You truly never stand your ground with a big guy with shoulders like that. You give him a little circle, left or right, make a circle. He's coming with a good right hand.
And Whitaker grabs McGirt after the right hand, a tacit acknowledgement that he was momentarily stunned.
You don't have a ground. You got a whole ring out there controlling. Who needs to stand some ground?
By standing his ground, Pernell presents a target to McGirt, which just isn't there when he backed away from him.
And he hasn't been moving his head well enough at this point to start standing his ground.
Indeed, he seems to move his head more, George, when he's going backward.
That's right, and he does. He's so effective when he goes backward.
Left hand over the top again by Whitaker. He's landed 2 of them in the last 30 seconds or so. Counter right hand landed there for Whitaker. Both fighters slowing the pace just a little bit in round number 8.
Whitaker is more at ease with this tapping around because he's fought with bigger guys. He's never fought them, but he's fought them. So you take it out of a sparring session and turn it into a fight. That's what McGirt has to do. He's got to fight. Don't start sparring with this guy.
There's a solid right cross from McGirt. Whitaker stands in there. Pernell's only been knocked down twice in his career at 135 pounds by Rafael Williams and Roger Mayweather. McGirt has only been knocked down once, and that was by the exceptionally heavy-handed Tony Baltazar. And then only after he'd been thumbed in the eye. Great straight left hand for Whitaker. Stuns McGirt.
Whitaker's got bravery like a matador. He'll stand in there and try to throw you.
Another left hand,
which really hurt McGirt.
And a counter shot for Whitaker as McGirt was throwing the right. Pernell is beginning to time Buddy's right pretty doggone well, as he showed you with another counter left there.
One thing I don't get is a sense in any way, really, that McGirt is stronger than Pernell Whitaker.
All right. What, is it hot? It's bothering you?
Yeah.
You got to try to do something, kid.
What's up, baby?
You understand? Your punches are coming out too slow. Your punches are coming out round. Look, buddy, you got to let the punches flow. You want to throw one punch and see if you hurt him. Don't do that. You're going to blow the title on yourself. Give me.
Give me the hook, man.
Give me that. Give me that mouth.
Turn, don't take no shots. Move that head, baby. Your jab is working beautiful. Your body, just keep doing what you're doing.
You can't find you when you're moving that head. Don't stand straight all the time. Just keep giving them little moves, right? Okay.
Seconds out.
Okay, seconds out. Seconds out. Stay there, Pete. Stay right there. Stay right there.
Very often, boxers are thought to be not tough people. Pernell Whitaker is tough people.
Amen.
He's like a Ming vase. He's not like a Ming vase that when you drop him, it breaks.
All right, get your tape
He
ready.
can take a punch.
If you have been elsewhere for the evening and have just joined us, we welcome you to Madison Square Garden, where Buddy McGirt, in the blue trunks, is defending his WBC World Welterweight Championship against Pernell Whitaker, regarded by many as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, coming up from 140 pounds to 147 in search of the third World Championship of his career. And through 8 rounds into the 9th, it is a virtually even fight, with both fighters having made statements and having taken some punishment.
To show you the difference in the strength, Larry, when McGirt hit Pernell Whitaker, whole body shakes. Whitaker has to throw an accurate shot right on the spot to make McGirt move at all.
Now Larry Hazzard warns Buddy McGirt for an obviously low blow. No points deducted so far. Between rounds, Alfredo was asking his Buddy McGirt if the left shoulder was bothering him. Maybe Serto wants to see more left hooks. McGirt threw one to good effect around to go.
Work your way out. Go home. Let him go.
But the very fact that you can remember that punch suggests that he's not throwing enough of it.
He's definitely having some left-hand problems, left arm problems, but it shouldn't bother him. He's been effective with a right hand anyway.
A straight left hand by Whitaker pounded McGirt on the nose and stopped him in his tracks. Now McGirt comes through with the first solid right of the 9th round. And another solid right. And now Buddy McGirt's juices start to flow again with a minute to go in the 9th. And the crowd wakes up. Very soon we'll hear the chants of Buddy, Buddy, Buddy. New Yorkers rooting for the man who has fought in this building 26 times. the body shot. McGirt missing over the top with the right hand, pawing with the left, but no power shots with the left hand for Buddy McGirt. Still largely a one-handed fighter.
And you got to remember, in fighting a southpaw, you need a good right hand lead. The left hand is not the good power punch that you need.
Here comes the Buddy chance. And it dies as Whitaker effectively counters inside. Straight left for Pernell. Landed as McGirt tried to throw a right. The suspense builds in Madison Square Garden.
Good right hand by Pernell Whitaker.
And another, George. 3 left hands in the last 10 seconds of the round.
Okay, hit her on. Better. You got to work the jab, though, buddy, and you got to try to punch a little straighter with that right hand, okay?
Okay.
Okay, baby?
Okay.
You're doing the best you could. Hold it, huh? Take a deep breath. Come on. Deep breath. Give him some more water. Buddy, she's doing a little more fainting, all right? You got to punch a little bit more with the jab. You got to work the jab, buddy. You have to.
Okay.
Don't just walk
Harold
in
Letterman,
and don't look at your
9 rounds. How do you have it?
Larry, 6 rounds to 3, 87-84. Pernell Pete Whitaker. I think Pernell's starting to take charge of this fight in the last 4 rounds. He's just, he throws the right jab and lands the solid left hand. It's the combinations that are winning it for him, and I don't think McGirt's landing enough right hands to offset what Whitaker's doing. Pernell Whitaker based on the clean, effective punching.
I have Whitaker ahead, but just by 5 rounds to 4.
Well, you saw the ice bag on Buddy McGirt's left shoulder between rounds. The obvious indication that the shoulder is bothering him more than he had said it would coming into the fight. And you heard Arturo telling Buddy, you've got to throw the jab. You've got to, even if you don't want to. McGirt just kind of shook his head.
Whitaker starting to pick up the pace with a stinging left jab at this right jab.
Left hand over the top again by Whitaker. Pernell, sensing that McGirt might not be physically 100%, tries to move in for the kill. Not a knockout kind of a kill, a scorecard clinching kind of a kill.
Which is important, especially when you're fighting a guy like McGirt who can really punch.
Straight lefts landing over and over now for Whitaker. The last 30 seconds of round 9, the first 30 seconds of round 10.
Wait, step back.
And through it all, through some sometimes rocky moments, Pernell Whitaker has remained characteristically calm.
I can't believe it.
Crowd tries to lift McGirt. Whitaker peers in, looking for another chance to throw the straight left. McGirt lands a right hand, and Pernell backs away.
All right, come on, punch your way out of there. Punch your way out.
Buddy McGirt dutifully observing Arturo's instructions to throw the left jab. But they are not solid jabs. And Pernell Whitaker moves forward now.
McGirt's having problems now. He's trying to match speed with a guy who's much quicker. He should never have come to that. Should have stayed with just some aggressive here and there, some aggressiveness here and there, but don't try to be much quicker than Pernell Whitaker. It can't be.
So with only one hand available to throw power shots, George, what can Buddy do to turn the tide again?
Well, he should stay close and just start landing punches, try to win every round.
Maybe that right hand will help.
But when you've been a counterpuncher for all your career, it's a hard thing to try to change both right in the middle of the string, man.
Whitaker allowing McGirt to land the jab as he looks for opportunities to bring the left over the top, just like that. Whitaker countering to the body and coming back with combinations to the head. Pernell Whitaker picking up the pace in round 10 and trying to nail the coffin shot on Buddy McGirt's chances to score a decision.
Pernell Whitaker beginning to dominate this fight.
Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete. All right, now listen. Keep the smile off your face. Dead serious. what I told you. You're in this joint. You're in it. Yeah, but don't be smiling, man.
Boxing like a master out there, baby. 2 rounds, he's desperate now.
Stay that way.
He's desperate now, right?
Yeah, now listen, the guy's trying to go for broke. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be careful. Don't take no unnecessary chances. Don't get cute. Keep on boxing the hell out of it.
No. All right, give me your legs. Do the best you could out there, champ, all right? Try to throw your punch straight with the right hand. Don't look at the work.
Do the best you could, champ. You know what that means? That means he doesn't have much left. It means he may be losing his title in 2 more rounds. He has to do something big and dramatic very quickly, Buddy McGirt, or else he's an ex-champion.
And you saw the lopsided punch stat numbers for round number 10, overwhelmingly in Whitaker's favor. Now we move into round 11. Both of these fighters well versed in the art of going the full distance, going 12 rounds. Buddy McGirt has had 20 fights in his career that have gone 10 rounds or longer. Pernell Whitaker goes the distance in just about every championship fight. McGirt seemingly without the energy to try to mount a furious rally here. Or perhaps looking for a one-punch shot to stun Whitaker and try to turn the tide all at once. Only 3 men in the entire history of the sport have won the welterweight championship after having been lightweight champions earlier in their career. Henry, Armstrong, Barney Ross, and Roberto Duran. Whitaker tries to add his name to that short list tonight. Right hand lands for McGirt. Best punch of the round for Buddy. 1.5 minutes to go in the 11th.
The worst thing that could happen to Whitaker is start to get a little overconfident here.
George Benton, between rounds, telling Pernell Whitaker not to showboat, not to smile, stay dead serious. The 2 fighters trading combinations again as they've done throughout most of the fight. Benton, the architect of the only 2 previous victories over McGirt, one by Freddie Pendleton and one by Meldrick Taylor. Will the pattern hold? Will trainer George Benton once again be McGirt's nemesis? Buddy trying to come on with the right hand. Crowd trying to lift their home favorite again. Right hand lands solidly. Madison Square Garden fans on their feet to root for Buddy. Whitaker tries to come back with the left.
Good straight right hand again.
Buddy McGirt has unleashed the right hand in round 11. And there it is again. Whitaker follows with a left. The 2 fighters trading power shots at the peak of round 11.
No, let him go. Come on, watch your way out.
Buddy McGirt is a thoroughbred. They're in the stretch, and he's making one more run.
Okay, now listen. Now listen, that's what I want you to do. Now the guy's going to be trying to bomb you with the right hand now. You understand? Now listen. Stay up close. But go up behind your jab, see? Because he's trying to bomb you out. When you get close, just use it.
Yeah. Same thing. Shoot that right hand straight as a nail. Give me. Give me water.
All right, now stay up close. But you walk up behind the jab.
You're gonna come out there by
We should be showing you this fight in black and white because it is a throwback fight.
Harold Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored going into the 12th?
Jim, 106, 103, 7 rounds to 4. Pernell Whitaker. Buddy McGirt landed enough right hands to win the 11th round, but Buddy McGirt ran out of rounds. Pernell's too far ahead.
In his long and illustrious career, 62 fights coming into tonight. Buddy McGirt's seen a lot of 12th rounds, but he's never before scored a 12th round knockout. By our lights, he probably needs one now to hold on to the world title he worked so hard to get, after having at one point tumbled from the upper echelon of the sport when he was beaten by Pernell Whitaker's stablemate and good friend Melzik Taylor in 1988. It took McGirt 19 more fights to get another title shot. Tonight, for the first time ever on HBO, the first time with this kind of audience, the first time with a 7-figure paycheck, he finds himself with one big chance for boxing glory. He's trying to make the most of it with only one arm and hoping to win the fight with the right hand only on power shots in the 12th. Pernell Whitaker looking for the undisputed title of best pound for pound in the world. Doesn't know that he already has a signed contract to fight Julio Cesar Chavez later this year, win or lose tonight. And Chavez has to be like all the rest of us, a fascinated spectator down the stretch.
The thing to remember, if this fight is a draw, it goes to McGirt. He retains the title. Is that right?
He retains his title if, in fact, the bout is a draw.
And believe me, in my mind, it's been little less than a draw. I can't see any man taking this fight over the other.
But realistically, George, there are bigger fish to fry than the title for Pernell Whitaker. The only title he's interested in at this stage is best in the world. And if he beats McGirt and then beats Chavez, few would be willing to deny him that distinction.
I can tell you this fight has been even, and McGirt, in my mind, has won and retained his title.
Well, George, you disagree with Larry Merchant and Harold Letterman, that's for sure. But maybe not with many in the crowd here as they rise to their feet in the closing minute of round 12. Buddy McGirt has put on a stirring effort here in the last 3 minutes.
And he did for the first 4 or 5 rounds also.
Whitaker pounding away. The left hand landed big. And another. McGirt stunned in the last 20 seconds. You've got two champions' hearts on full and open display.
Buddy McGirt won the last 2 rounds. Is that enough? Buddy McGirt has one other thing we should mention. Yes, it's true. There's a
Lou Duba's going nuts. Larry Hazard making his toughest move of the evening, prevents Duba from attacking the people in McGirt's corner. And the two fighters placidly parade around the ring, arm in arm, while their managers try to get at each other.
Okay, good job. Good job.
Pernell Whitaker does have a contract to fight the great Julio Cesar Chavez before the end of the year. What we haven't mentioned is that Buddy McGirt has a return match contract with Pernell Whitaker. That doesn't mean the next fight, but he does have a return match clause.
But you pointed out, Larry Merchant, that McGirt, surely in the eyes of most here, won the last 2 rounds. If the fight was close, that could turn it in his favor. The judges, 2 from Nevada, 1 from California, none from New York. In fact, the only New York licensed judge scoring the bout here tonight is our own Harold Letterman. And his scorecard doesn't count. So let's start with final punch stat numbers and take a look at the statistical profile of the bout, according to Logan Hobson and Bob Canobio, who count the punches. And there you have it. Whitaker landing more by almost 100. Whitaker landing at a higher percentage. But McGirt, with the right hand, surely landed the heavier blows.
It's been a great fight. Seldom I start to rock and roll in my seat.
For welterweights, George, you were rocking and rolling for those 147-pounders, my man.
I love it. Whitaker's so brave.
Ring announcer Ed Darian examining the scorecards as he gets ready to reveal the result to us. Let's take a look at Harold's final numbers. Harold, how did you score it?
Jim, 115, 113, 7 rounds to 5, Pernell Pete Whitaker. You know, Jim, he ought to be ashamed of himself clowning in the last 2 rounds like that. There's no question Buddy McGirt won those last 2 rounds, but Pernell didn't even try as I saw it, but he just won too many rounds when he swept rounds 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, he just won those middle rounds, and I think he piled up enough points to win it.
Well, I'm on pins and needles now, Harold, and we're going to check in with Ed Darian, the ring announcer, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Madison Square Garden here in New York, we've got the scoring and a points. Judge Dalby Shirley observed 117-111. Judge Rudy Ortega, he watched it at 115-114. And Judge Chuck Jampa, he observed 115-113 for the winner by unanimous decision. And a brand new WBC welterweight champion, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.
So Pernell Whitaker, world champion at 135 pounds, world champion at 140, comes into Buddy McGirt's home court, Madison Square Garden in New York, and joins Barney Ross, Henry Armstrong, and Roberto Duran as the only 4 men in the history of the sport ever to have won the World Lightweight Championship and then later in their careers gone 12 pounds up the road to win the welterweight title. But the title that most interests Whitaker is the mythical distinction of best pound for pound in the sport. And now, somewhere down the road, we are told he is guaranteed a chance to fight Julio Cesar Chavez in a fight which will surely be billed as the battle for that distinction. And Larry Merchant is standing by with the winner.
Pernell, did you know going into this fight that you already had a contract to fight Julio Cesar Chavez, win or lose?
No, I didn't, and it really didn't matter. I was very focused on what I had to do tonight with one of pound for pound's best, Buddy McGirt. I didn't leave that up to my organization to handle that. Danny, Shelley, Lou, and all those guys.
Am I giving you news when I tell you that?
You're giving me news, but it's good news. You know, the fight was a good fight. And
was that the best fight you've ever fought in terms of the competitiveness of it and the quality of the opposition?
I would say yes, but I want to ask you what you think. How would you answer that question? I want to question you this time. What you think, Larry?
2 terrific fighters. You won the fight. He was fighting with about an arm and 3/4. Did you know
okay.
that
I said I wanted no excuses.
You're right. Did you know and realize early on that he wasn't using his left hook?
No, I didn't really pay it any mind. Like I said, when I walked in this ring tonight, I didn't want any excuses. When I win, I wanted to win. Well, if he had won, then we would have never heard about the left shoulder. But it was fine. I was fine. I was just at my best.
He hit you with a lot of right hands. Did you get hurt at all?
Not at all. Not at all, Larry. And that's just why some of the critics. I can be hit, but I'm a great defensive fighter. I don't get hit as often. And I like to say hi to all my 3 sons, Pernell, Dontavius, and Dominique, along with Ryan, and Twan and the rest of the Whitaker family.
You've joined Roberto Duran, Henry Armstrong, Barney Ross as the only fighters ever to win the lightweight and welterweight divisions. Do you have a sense of the historical importance of what you've done?
Well, hopefully now I can sit back, enjoy this one, and start getting the recognition for being pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And now after this great contest, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to let the fans enjoy it. I'm going to start getting my just dues for beating a great fighter. And I did miss one of my boys. I missed my dog, Thunder.
Larry, you said about the Chavez fight. You say it's supposed to be made? Well, let's get it on. Let's put it on. Let's get it ready. We're ready.
All right, we'll wait a half hour and we'll get that one on.
Let's ready. We're ready to go. We're ready to go.
Congratulations, Pernell.
Thank you very much. Thanks, HBO.
Okay, Jim, back to you, and then I'll be right back with Buddy McGirt.
All right, that's terrific, Larry. And George, let's pay a little tribute. They were both pretty doggone great tonight.
Yeah, one of the finest welterweight fights I've seen in years. I mean, they were great. This fight could have went both ways in my mind. Too bad I'm not a judge.
While Larry was conducting that interview, Buddy McGirt was telling some of our people off camera that he lost the use of his left arm for power punching, in effect, on or along or about the fourth round. As you see it, was that the critical factor in the fight?
I don't think so. This Pernell Whitaker is so skillful. At some point or other, he got his courage back. He started drawing this guy forward, and he started picking up the points. That's all. He couldn't have done any better if he had an extra arm, the left, right, and a belly. And the key he couldn't have done any better.
Key strategic move in the fight came when Pernell was willing to back up and let Buddy McGirt come to him.
He took over then. He was a better counter-puncher than McGirt. He didn't have the better power. McGirt had the best power, which why I thought the fight could have went the other way. But I'm so happy because it was a great fight for the people in Madison Square Garden for a change.
Yeah, it was a tremendous battle and redeems Madison Square Garden from the ignominy of having hosted last month's Bo Dokes debacle. Right now, let's talk with the other champion in the ring tonight as Larry stands by with Buddy McGirt. Larry?
Buddy, you stated many times before the fight you didn't want to make excuses because of your left arm, but we have to ask you because you didn't throw what many believe was your money and your championship punch very often at all. When did you know that you couldn't throw it, before or during the fight?
Well, a little before. I knew it was my chance of a lifetime, and I had to take full advantage of it. I did all the work I could on it to get it as good as I could get for tonight. You know, it's like when you fix your car, you don't know if it's going to break down or if it's going to keep running good. So, unfortunately, my arm didn't perform up to par like I expected it. Best of Pernell Whitaker. He fought the fight he should have fought. And, you know, I'm going to go now, have my arm checked thoroughly, get the right treatment, and Buddy McGirt will be back.
Well, tell me, when you went out for the first bell, did you already know I've got to win this some other way? Or did you decide that you were going to try it to see if it would come to life?
I was going to try it, you know. I said I got to go out here and give it my best shot. You know, this is my chance of a lifetime. I'm fighting on HBO, you know, and I just wanted to go out there and give it my best. And I went out there, tried it. It didn't compute once. I tried it again and again and again. But like I said, you know, my hat's off to Pernell Whitaker. He deserves it. He's a good champion.
Would you do that all? I mean, in effect, you were putting your welterweight championship in jeopardy for this opportunity and for $1 million. Would you do the same thing if you had it to do all over again?
Well, sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do to get what you want in life. And I took a chance, you know, and messed up. But like I said, I'll be back.
Tell us about Pernell Whitaker. You fought a lot of top fighters. How is he to fight?
He's good. He's not as, you know, he's a good boxer, but I don't think that he's good as they build him up to be, you know what I mean? There was times I was catching him with jabs, you know, with a half left arm, you know, so imagine. But, you know, he did what he had to do. He got the job done, and that's the best I can say.
All right, two quick questions. You do have a rematch clause with him, as I understand it. How soon do you think you could get back in the ring with him?
I want to go now and get my arm checked thoroughly and get the proper rest for it, and then after that, I'll take it from there.
Pernell Whitaker apparently is going to fight Julio Cesar Chavez before the end of the year. How do you see that fight?
It's a toss-up. It's hard to really say.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We enjoyed having you.